Hi, this is Victor Chang from SaaSCEO.com, and today I'll be talking about indirect sales or distribution channels for SaaS businesses. To kick off, realize there are two different categories of sales or distribution channels to reach and sell to customers. Direct, where it's your company name on the credit card charge or the invoice, and indirect, where there is some kind of third-party intermediary in the middle that is helping you facilitate that transaction. So let's talk a bit about that. There are 6 different indirect distribution channel options for you to consider adopting in your business. We'll start with the lowest price point type, the distribution channels for the lowest price points, and move up to more complicated and more enterprise sales. So first is the app stores, right? If you have a small mobile app, send it through an app store like Google or Apple's app store is a very simple way of getting people to buy your app, right? Typically appropriate for price points under, $10, $15, right? A $2 app, $4 app, so on and so forth. And the advantage of that particular approach in that channel is these app stores have an enormous amount of traffic, right? And there are people searching to get an app. And by being in the store, you are findable, and then you can sell more of your apps. Right? So the downside is there's an intermediary cost, right? They take a cut, which is the downside. The second indirect channel is to use what I call in-app purchases. So you are on the App Store for initially to get that initial sale, and sometimes you offer the base product for free as a way to get it into users' hands. They start using it, and as they encounter more advanced features that they want to use because they're in the middle of working on something, then they can buy within the app upgraded capacities and capabilities of your app. Right? I distinguish this because, in the App Store, it's really the App Store search engine that's driving the traffic, right? That gets you an audience, where you can then sort of convince them to make a download. In an in-app purchase, it's the quality of your app that is drawing visitors directly to your app. And then it is your promotional efforts within the app that sort of sets up the purchase as well as initiates the purchase process of buying an upgraded app from within the app itself. So that's your second option. The third option for an indirect sales channel are resellers, right? This is a classic example of this is, Amazon resells Microsoft Office. They either sell a physical disk as they have in the past, or more commonly, they sell a download code from Amazon. In this particular case, when a purchase is made, like when I buy Microsoft Office from Amazon, Amazon is the one that charges me, not Microsoft. So that's an example of using a reseller. And you can have resellers sort of at the low end, under $100. You can certainly also have resellers at the thousands and tens of thousands of dollars as well. So that's the third option. So you got app stores, in-app purchases, resellers, and our fourth option are what I call white label resellers. That's when you sell your technology to a third party that kind of takes your technology, puts their branding and brand name and logo all over that core technology, and sort of resells it as their own. And the customer doesn't really realize that you are the underlying provider of that technology. They just realize they're buying from a trusted source in which they've purchased often before. So that's an example of using a white label reseller. Certain companies want to protect their brand, like your technology, but they don't want to be introducing other parties into their customer relationship. So for those kinds of partners, a white label relationship might make sense. Our the fifth option is to incorporate and sell with other technology providers. In those situations, it's very similar to a white label reseller relationship, where it is the partner's identity and brand identity that's driving the sale. But in a other technology providers type of distribution model, there's usually an integration. Rather than a straight up resell, they're actually taking your technology, really tightly integrating it with their own, creating essentially a third offering that neither you nor they have independently, and then selling that to their customers under their logo. So more technology integration development efforts required for this particular option. And the sixth and final indirect distribution channel is using professional services firms. Professional services firms can facilitate or initiate a sale in a couple of different ways. So this is typically more common in more expensive offerings, typically starting in the tens of thousands or high tens of thousands of dollars, in terms of annual contract value, but more commonly hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, in terms of annual contract value, where professional services firms tend to get more involved. So this can be done in a couple of different ways. You can sell alongside a professional services firm. So maybe a customer wants to buy your software, but the integration is way too much work for them to do in-house. And just buying the software is a very incomplete solution, right? So a professional services firm will sell alongside of you, right? And it's sort of a partner-assisted sale, I guess, for lack of a better word. And therefore, the customer says, oh, well, you have a technology offering from your company and a services offering from somebody else. The combined solution set looks really good. It's very complete. I don't have any open issues. I'm going to make that purchase. So that's a partner-assisted sale. Other times, partners will just buy licenses and number of seats from you in wholesale, right? They're going to buy 100 seats, 1,000 seats, 5,000 seats, and then they're going to wrap their services around your technology offering and sell what's called a managed service to end customers. You see this a lot in telco services. You see a lot in accounting-based services where there's an accounting technology plus accountants that operate that technology to achieve a particular outcome for a customer. So generally, the more complicated a particular problem is to solve, the more larger the company that's buying the software, the higher the price point, the more often you have partners involved in the sale, either to assist the sale or really to be a wholesaler in the middle and wrap their services around that particular offering. So those are your 6 different indirect sales and distribution channels. The right choice depends an awful lot on your strategy. What are you trying to accomplish? Who are you trying to reach? What are your price points? And every channel in the indirect channel has trade-offs, right? They have different economics. They have different strengths. And the key is to be super thoughtful about what you are trying to accomplish and being accepting of the trade-offs involved in each particular choice. Hope that helps. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have any questions on indirect sales channels, please feel free to add a comment or write your questions below, and I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks, everyone, and have a great day.